Hello. This is the video where we are going to discuss the solution for the past paper. This is subject ICT and program IGCSE. So we're going to discuss how to solve the database part, one of the examples. Specifically, this is paper from 2025, paper 2.1. Yeah, let's take a look. This is, I would say, pretty typical paper. It maybe has a couple of new details. Well, we are going to discuss them. The first one is, let's start from the beginning, specifically from the database part, beginning of database part. So this question starts as usual, explaining that you're gonna need to make a report. All dates has to be in day, month, year format, which is actually default format, and we will see how to make sure we have this format. And all the data has to be visible. All right, let's start with the step 15 here. This is the step where they ask to import table. They import a new file as a table. Here they explain the name of the file, they explain what should be the fields there, what should be the types of the fields, some little information about how they should be displayed. That's all we are going to, we are able to tune all of this. They also explain the primary key, supposed to be learner number, and then we take a screenshot to the evidence. Let's take a look how to start. I have folder with all the source files. I already made the evidence file. This is kind of the first step of the paper. Let me just open the file, and here I only have steps related to database. So as usual, you put your name, center number, candidate number somewhere, for example in a header, so it's on all the pages. This is evidence file, we're gonna need it. And let's actually start with making database. So we need to make a new database file. In order to do this, we can either go to Access program, or in my case, I can just go right click new Microsoft Access database. Sometimes it allows you to do this. The name of the database is not really important. Let me call it database June 2025-21. This is going to be database. Let's open it. Let's click enable content. We're going to start with importing the files. I think functionality may a little differ from the version of Office you have. For me, it's going to be external data. Sometimes you already have a button to import a text file. In my case, I have to go new data source, from file, text file. Or sometimes you just have the block import and then you have just the button here. If you have, I think, 2016 version, for example, you have the button here, text file. Again, be careful, do not go for export. We need to choose the import block. So let's go this from file, text file. Right, let's choose the proper file. Let me see, what do I have? Okay. Okay, so on the left you have the menus where you need to choose the folder. For me, it's kind of already a recent folder. And the file we should import is, which file? Learners. So let's go and choose the file learners and go open. Then we click OK. Here in the first step, we don't change anything. It's supposed to be like this, separate by comma, so just go next. So separators, comma as usual, you probably will see it's in columns already. I'm not gonna go into very little details. You can, I think, watch another video, previous video about databases on this YouTube channel. So I try to make it concise, kind of assuming that you did at least once this before. If you didn't, it's not gonna be big difference. Just I'm not gonna go in very little details, so hopefully it will be clear. Here Here we need to check, first of all, we have to tick the box first row contain field names. This is always you do. That makes the first row actually the name of the columns, because it's not actual content, it's the name. You will no, it kind of, you can see here, yeah, that these are not, for example, the actual font, but the name of the column. And a very important step, we have to always go here to advanced button on the left bottom corner. For this little window, what we're supposed to do, we need to put the fields and make sure these fields have the proper types. We don't really have to put the fields, yeah, we need to just make sure that the types are kind of as is the same as here, basically. Okay, so let's take a look. So the first three is supposed to be text. Let's see. So text corresponding to short text here. Oh, by the way, so I don't forget, this is where you can make sure you have the proper kind of day, month, year format. It's already there. The first three fields are text, which correspond to short text in access, so it's already good. Date, okay, next, number is supposed to be integer, so here's long integer, that's good. Date with time, it's same as date time. Okay, next one, telephone. Here it says it's supposed to be text, but somehow kind of automatic system decided that it's supposed to be long integer, so we need to change that. You need to change it according to the what you have it in your paper. So long integer is supposed to be short text. We need to change for telephone, as it says here. That telephone is supposed to be of type text. Next three is supposed to be also short text, and the last one will be whatever they say. They say boolean / logical to display is yes, no. So boolean / logical, this is the type which assumes only two possible values. For example, if person has allergy or not. So it's only two possible options here, and in the program you can choose it by going yes / no. This is what corresponds to boolean / logical type, yes, no. Very important to do it here. If you miss it, you won't be able to do it after you import the table. So if you miss it once and you go to the actual importing the table and you realize later, unfortunately you'll need to actually do it again. So please, take a look at all the types before on this step. This is the important step. We fixed all the types. Let's go click OK. Let's go next. This step where you can make sure all the fields, just review the fields. Most of the time you really don't need to do anything about this one. Sometimes they tell you have to skip, not show some of the fields. You can do it here. You can choose if they say so. You can tick the box, do not import the field to skip it. In this case there's no need, they don't ask for that, so we actually just go next, and most of the time you just go next. This is the step where you have to choose primary key. Primary key is a special field which is going to be kind of the field which will be unique for every row, for every record, for every horizontal line in your table. In this case, they actually tell us what's supposed to be the primary key. So in this case, it's learner number is supposed to be primary key. So we have three options here. Make a new one. Sometimes they can ask for that. Choose some of the existing ones, or do not choose at all primary key. That's also possible, and they will tell you if it's needed. In this case, we actually have to choose the one which they tell us. So this is, you can go for choose my own primary key and pick learner number. Let's do it. Done. And let's go next. So we chose learner number. Let's go next. Name we can keep the same. Finish, close. Do not tick this box, just finish, close. And here we have a table. Sometimes it may happen that you need to wait like 5 seconds. It depends on the program. Sometimes it's a bit slower, so this table appears here with a little delay. So don't worry, it will appear. We have our table. All the columns, as you can see here, are very actually small, and it's really hard to see anything. So my recommendation to make all the columns wide enough so all the content is visible. How to do this quickly? You need to click on the how do you call it, like the rectangle, gray rectangle in the left top corner. So if you click, you notice that everything is selected, and now it's similar to Excel if you did it before. If you click on this one, everything is selected. So in order to make all columns visible, you click this, and then you have to click, put your cursor in between two columns. It becomes like this icon, and you double click. So 2 times you click, 1, 2, and it actually makes all the columns, you know, wide enough. And then you can click to any cell to unselect the table. It just makes it more visible. After we import the table, we need to kind of do little things which are left kind of to finish our table import. So we change the types. Great. Now we kind of have to work on display. Specifically, so learner number is supposed to be integer. That's already integer, nothing to change. Display of DOB. DOB is date of birth. It's supposed to be shown like in this format. Day, month as 3 letters, and then year as 2 digits. So 2 digits, 3 letters, 2 digits, separated by hyphens, by like minuses here. If we look at DOB, it's already this. So we actually don't need to change anything. You can make sure, but it's already this. And last one, we have to make online application to display as a text, yes or no. Right now it's shown as a tick box, so this is what we need to change. Let's see how to do this. On top of your table, you have a little tab with the name of the table. So right click on that, design view. Let's choose design view. Just in case, if you need to change the date, you can click on date time here, and in the bottom of the page you have properties block, specifically the first row format, and you can choose what format you want it to be. No, let's just make sure it's medium date, this one. The same. I don't think it's gonna affect or change anything. What we actually need to change is online application, so it's displayed as a text. To do this, we have to click on the online application, make it selected. Let's go to lookup tab. Here you have option. So here we need to go to lookup display. It shows a checkbox, and you have to choose text box. I have to say that different versions of Access may work a bit differently. So basically this is the place where you need to go. You can choose, these are only 3 options you have. You have also combo box, have text box and checkbox. So just choose the one which gives you yes, no. Formally it's supposed to be this option, but sometimes if you have some issue with your version of software, it may not work sometimes like perfectly. So just, you know, choose one of those 3, or you can test. For example, I choose text box. This is supposed to be the correct option. Let's save. Again, right click on the tab, save, right click again. To see if it works correctly, we can go to datasheet view. And if I look at my table, it actually shows me as yes, no, which is what I want. Super. So this is done. Let's go back to design view. And the last step in this kind of last part of the step is that we have to actually take a screenshot of table showing field names, data types, primary key used. Let's do this. So let's also include the name of the table in here. So this little icon, I don't know if you can see, it's a little key icon. This is how we show that learner number is primary key. So we need to include this little icon as well. All the names, all the fields. We should not include the bottom part. We don't care about the bottom part. No, we care, but it's going to be seen in the reports. So in this step, we only are looking for this. To make a screenshot, for example, you can go Windows Shift S on your computer, and then this is what area you choose. So you go Windows Shift S button and choose this one. Okay, you choose it. Let's go to our evidence document, and after we did this, we can just right away paste it after step 15. So we have the evidence of this step 15. Let's continue for step 16. Import the file access.csv as a new table in your database. Set all data types to text. Set AA code's primary key, and then similar to previous step, we need to take a screenshot and put in evidence. Pretty similar question. Let's save our table. Let's close it. My recommendation to, after you finish working with the table, to close it, because somehow if you want to use it again, it may not let you change it until you close it. So make sure you save it and close it after you finish. That you can do it later, but it's more, I think, maybe more convenient to do it right away. Let's import another table, external data, new new file, forum file, text file, browse. This next file is access. File is access. Open it, click OK. This is a step where we don't change anything, it's already good. On this step, always you have to tick the box, first row contains field names. Let's do it. So to make it actual table with the header, always we have to go to advanced option to make sure it's correct. In this case, we don't have to do anything because it's already DMY. It's already, all the fields have the text type, so we really don't have to change anything. But sometimes you need to change, and the thing is, if you miss this step and you actually had to use it before, you will not be able to do it later after you import table. That's why. Okay, after this we go next. Here we go next. We need to choose primary key, and as you remember, they say AA code has to be primary key. So let's go choose my own primary key, AA code. You can click on it or you can choose it from the drop down menu. Let's go next, finish, close. For this table access, let's do similar. Make it all completely visible. We click on the left top corner once, click, put cursor in between two column names, double click. Okay, all becomes big enough and visible. Let's go to design view. We need to take a screenshot just to prove that everything is correct. Windows Shift S. Let's choose this information and paste it for step 16 of our table, of our evidence document. Okay. Okay. Step 17. Let's take a look. Step 17. Examine the file class and identify the most appropriate data to use as a primary key. Close this file. So then they ask to import table, put this, put the types, very similar to what we just did, and take a screenshot. The only difference and something new in this step is that we have to identify ourselves what to choose as a primary key. You can open this file before before trying to import it, but actually maybe a bit faster to do is actually look at the file while you're importing it. It's really not, it's actually visible. Let's try to import it. So you go external data, source file, text file. Let's choose, we're looking for file class. Let's open it. This first step really doesn't matter, it's the same. We have to tick the box, first row contain field names. Now, what is very important, when they say identify most appropriate data to use as a primary key, we actually can go and do it even later. In here, let's do it a bit later. So we go first row contained field names. Let's put the field types. So we go advanced, D and Y. First one is integer, all the rest are text. it's already good. We don't have to change anything here. That's great. Click OK. Next. We don't need to skip anything here, so we go next. What about primary key? So they tell us choose some primary key which you think most appropriate. How do you know? So pretty much the only and most important property of primary key is that it should not be repeating in any row. For example, we have first a column year group, and we have these are the values. So here first two rows already have 10 and 10. So because it's repeating, it cannot be a primary key. It's just a rule. It cannot. Okay, class tutor. Can it be primary key? So here the deal is that you actually have to go through all the columns and check what are the possible candidates, what are the columns which are appropriate, which technically possible, which are possibly can be primary key. Because sometimes you have more than one column which has this unique field. So technically primary key is something which uniquely identifies every row. It should not repeat, and somehow it has to be something which cannot repeat at all. So it's like a passport number of a person. So two people can have the same name and same surname, but cannot have the same passport number. So the name cannot be primary key, but passport number can be primary key. Let's see. So class tutor, Mr. Miss Austin, Mrs. Rahman. Let's see if there's any repeating. Usually names are really bad primary key. So I don't recommend choosing name as a primary key. It's a bad idea because names can repeat. Yeah. But let's just make sure here it's cannot even technically it's not possible. So let's see what is repeating, which surname is repeating. Let's say I'm just trying to see what is repeating here. No, okay, I think this is Mr. D.A. Cohn, and Mr. D.A. Cohn here also repeating. So it's repeating. We cannot choose it because it has to be unique. So it's not class tutor. Class ref, it has some letters, letter and digit and letter. Looks like it's not repeating. Yeah, so you have every digit has a different letter, and apparently it's not repeating. So this is a good candidate. Yeah, it's not repeating. Let's just in case check others. Okay, year had repeating. The first how many repeating, not suitable. House code, Darwin, Newton. Okay, Darwin again cannot be. House color, red, yellow. Okay, red again, red repeating, not good. House leader, Mr. Mrs. Baraklav probably, and here again Mrs. Baraklav. So pretty much the only field which has non-repeating records, non-repeating rows. So this for K, for E, for N, for R, for N, everything is distinct. This is exactly what we want from primary key. So it's going to be class ref. It's going to be class ref. Let's choose it. You can choose it here. Now let's choose it. This is going to be our primary key. Just in case, if you accidentally choose primary key which is not unique, which is repeating, you're gonna have a mistake. For example, let me just try to show you. So if I choose year group as a primary key, this is a wrong primary key. I'm just going to demonstrate what kind of problem you're going to see. So we choose, let's say we choose the wrong one. Go next, finish, and it will not let us to do it because it says, you see, you have duplicate values in your primary key. It says because it will create duplicate values in index, primary key, or relationship. No, basically it says you will have duplicates in primary key. That's not possible. So, and the problem is that the program will let you create it. So for some reason, I don't know why, they don't go move you back. They say, okay, go ahead. So it will create your table, but it will create you with mistakes. That's why, because I chose the primary key wrong, not correctly, I'm going to delete it. I think it was class, yeah? Let me delete this table. And, oh, actually, I don't have to delete it. I can choose it later. So let me maybe show you real quick two options. So I chose the primary key and it tells me I cannot, no, that the program cannot make it primary key as it's repeating. So what I can do, I can go to the table if I don't want to import it again, and I can choose it here. You see that here we have several fields. Maybe you remember, as we discussed, class ref was actually suitable primary key. So we can click on this one, right click on this one, and go primary key. So we click on this gray square to the left of the name of the field, right click, and we can actually choose primary key after we imported the table. We can do it. I mean, if you feel comfortable with this and understand what we're doing, you can freely do it later. Now, or you actually can click this button, primary key, so you can do it later. But sometimes, no, my general recommendation, if you don't feel comfortable, if you're not sure exactly what you chose, better just let me just show you. So if you're not sure, let's not save anything. Let's delete this table and import it again with a proper primary key. So we right click on the table, we go delete, yes, and just import it again. External data from file, text file. Let's choose again the file class. We don't do anything here. First row contain field names. This has already all correct fields. So we go next, and choosing primary key, we now going to choose the correct one, class ref, from the very beginning. So class ref field, primary key, go next. We do not change the name, we go finish, close. Again, please do not be ignorant for the error messages, because sometimes you may misclick. It's happened sometimes, so please be careful and pay attention on that, because if you don't choose primary key from the very beginning, or for example forget to change some type of the field, you may need to do it all over again at some point. Sometimes it's not possible to do it afterwards. That's why. Let's take a look at our table, make it all visible. Let's go to design view. We do not need to change anything in display, we just need to take a screenshot. So let's go Windows Shift S, take a screenshot and paste it for our evidence, step 17. Let's save it. And we can save it and close the table. Next one, create one-to-many relationships as links between the AA code field in the access table and the AA code field in the learners table. Okay, this is the first relationship. In this step, in general, we're gonna need to make relationships between tables, between the fields and tables. That was the first one. The second one is the primary key field in the class table. They don't tell us, no, kind of what we supposed to choose, but we kind of know what it's supposed to be. It's supposed, I think, class ref we chose. So between the primary key in the class table and the class code field in the learners table. So here we are going to choose we're gonna make two relationships. After we did it, well, as we do it, we need to take screenshots to prove that we did it correctly. Let's do this. So how to make relationships? We need to go in the Access program to Database Tools tab, click Relationships, double click first, second, and third table, close it. If you accidentally added the one table twice, or you forgot to add some table, you can open this little window with tables again. You just right click on the gray area and go show table, and you get back to your original window. Let's make all the tables big enough so we can see all the fields. It just makes it a bit more convenient. So first we're gonna connect access table and learners table. This is access table on the left, this is learners table. In order, if you want to move this table around, you need to click on the name of the table. What I see here is that first we connect access to learners and then we connect class to learners. So basically learners is going to have two relationships. It's, I think, more convenient and more visible if we rearrange a little bit our tables. So let's move, we click on the name, hold it and move it to the right. Let's move the learners in the middle. So it's just more kind of more clear what we're doing. Access table and learners table will be connected using AA code fields. Let's click this, let's click that. And how to do it, you click on one field, it becomes pink, you click it, you hold it, and hold, basically drag it and drop on top of another field you would like to connect it with. Usual also thing is that one field is going to be primary key and another field is not. This is a relation is called one-to-many. They always ask you to make one-to-many relation, and this is even right you here, yeah, one-to-many. This is relation. Before clicking create, let's take a screenshot of this relation. So we take a screenshot of this, click create, and let's paste our screenshot to evidence file. This is step 18. Ctrl V or right click paste for pasting the screenshot. Sometimes if you, let's say, forget that you need, if you forgot that you need to take a screenshot, you can just double click on this black line as a relationship. Just click it 2 times and it's going to be open again. Or let's say you made it wrong, you can also click it 2 times and change it here. Yeah, so you always can do it. Or you can right click on this and go delete. So this is all possible. Don't worry if you misclick something, you can all edit it, delete it, change it, and so on. To connect table learners and class table, we need to connect class code with primary key, which is class ref. Let's do this. So we click on class ref. It doesn't matter which you go. You can go class code on top of class ref or other way around. It really doesn't matter. Let's do this. Let's click on the one field, hold it, drag it, and drop on top of class code. This is our second relationship. Windows Shift S, take a screenshot, create, and then we paste it. Be careful, please paste it for the same step 18. How to do it? Your cursor will probably be in the right bottom corner of the first screenshot you posted, so just click enter and then you'll be able to paste the second screenshot. What I also want to say is that sometimes, I think I saw it in one of the recent papers, sometimes when you take a screenshot like this, let me just double click on some of the fields, the names of the fields are really too big and it may be not completely visible on this screenshot. So if you think that this screenshot is not enough, this is usually for exams, yeah, you can also, after you did these two screenshots, you can also take a screenshot of these 3 tables all together. I don't want to do it again because for me it's all clearly visible, but if you want to be super sure that you did all correctly, you can also take 3rd screenshot. In our case, yeah, we have 2 relationships plus 1 big screenshot. You unfortunately cannot just make 1 big screenshot instead of those 2 small, because you need to show that you have one-to-many relationship. Here it says one-to-many. This is important. I mean, for some people, like for examinators who are going to check your exam, they see that it's correct. Probably, yeah, but if it's not correct, no, kind of, you may misclick. It's this basically, this little screenshot also help you to check yourself. If it says one-to-many, it's probably like one more thing that kind of proves you to be correct. So you don't have to worry about that you maybe misclicked something. I hope it makes sense. So let's save our relationships and close this window. Let's continue for step 19. Step 19, they tell us add the following as a new record in the learners table. This is a pretty straightforward step where we just need to add a new record, new row to our table. This is going to be learners table. And this is the data. Let's go to learners table. In order to add a new record, we can either scroll using this scroll on the right, scroll to the very bottom, or if you see here in the bottom, you have the menu navigation bar, and to go to the last row to create a new one, you have this little button which has like a play button and the little yellow square. If you put your cursor in there, it says new record. So this is what we need. So let's click it, and it's gonna put us right directly to the last row. Star means we're in the process of adding a new record. There's nothing special here, we're just gonna type it in the table. So surname is Norris, forename Emma. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Gender female. Learner number this. Let me just put it real quick. For the date, you don't really have to choose it. You see, you have a little icon of choosing the date. I'm not sure if how convenient it is. You can just type whatever they say with the slashes and it will understand for the date. So phone, this is going to be the phone. This is going to be the email. Be careful for not making the typos in here, because this is what you're getting points for, yeah, for not making typos. Okay. And online application is no, already by default. Okay, cool. This is the thing. Let's save it. We don't have to take a screenshot of this, as they don't ask for it. How some students ask me, how do we know how do we prove that we did it? The thing is, if you did correctly the records, the reports, sorry, which is going to be next question, this record is going to be included as one of the report record. So it's going to be in the report, basically. So you don't need to take a screenshot unless they tell you explicitly to do it. Here they don't tell us. So we just save it and continue. Let's save it and continue. Okay, step 20, this is a bigger step. You can notice that it has 10 points for this step. In this step, they ask you to make a tabular report, or just report. All reports are tabular, pretty much. So let me read the instructions. Using the fields from all the tables, produce a tabular report. Just before going to this, I want to say always, this is the kind of the instruction. This is the plan how to approach these tasks. Whenever they ask you to make report, this will consist of two parts. First is going to make query part. Basically, we kind of filter out and choose all the proper data. And second step is actually making report. So report is the visible part, how we make it look, how we sort it, how we put some little details in this report. But we always have this first step of making a query preparation step. So it always looks like one step, but always split into two steps. Please do not forget, it has two steps. Always we have to start with a query. How do we know which part is query, which part is report? They unfortunately don't say it here explicitly, but intuition and my recommendation is to look at the questions and find the word sorts. Whenever this word sort start, it means report instruction started. So everything higher than this, like above the word sort, is going to be query. So these first two bullet points are going to be our query questions, query part. So let me just color it a little different color, for example. Okay, and starting from sort, we have report. So let's make it, for example, this color. So please pay attention to this sort word. This is the word where, you know, kind of identification. You can use this word as a separation between the parts. So here the blue part is a query part, and the green part is report part. So let me read it. So first, select the records where gender is female, axis arrangement includes the text time. This is some filters, how we want to filter our data. Here the next say, show only the field learner number, forename, surname. They say the fields in this order. So order is important. So learners, then forename, surname. So this is specific order with data labels. Data and labels displayed in full. Do not group the data. This is the report part. And then we have the, this is the query part. So blue part here is the query part. After we made and prepared data, there's a report part. So they tell us to sort it, ascending order of this, descending order of that, put specific page orientation, make it fit 2 pages and single page wide and 2 pages in total, put specific title at the top of the page. This is the title. And then calculate something about report. So we want to, they ask to make about the people we choose, like some data we choose. There's some DOB, so DOB is date of birth. So we want date of birth of the youngest student and place it in the end of the report. This is some function we're gonna put. I'm gonna show you a bit later. We're also gonna put some label, just text explaining this, and you also gonna put your name, center number, candy number in the footer of the report, so it appears on every page of the of your report in the same position. This is again classical thing. You will see how to do it. We need to save and print it, and take a screenshot in the evidence of the formula to calculate date of birth, the youngest date of birth. Let's go step by step. Here I have to say that the order is not really kind of linear, so we unfortunately cannot always go from top down doing the steps. But if you do 3-4 papers like this, it kind of makes sense. The order kind of makes sense. So first, if we start with query, we need to select the data in specific way, and then we need to show only the fields. So what my recommendation here is to actually start, let me put number 1 here, to start with choosing the fields. So logic is that we first choosing the fields and then we filter them. It's not convenient to filter data first and then choose the fields. So we're gonna first choose the fields and then we're going to filter them. So this is gonna be step number 1, this is gonna be step number 2. Pretty much we always start with showing the fields. Let's do this. Let's save, okay, our table, close it. How to make a query? Again, reminding you that this is the query part, no? And this is, oh, let me just make it, I guess, green. And this is a report. So this is important parts. So we're gonna start with the query first. How to make it? We go create. In the program we have 2 buttons for making query: query wizard, query design. My recommendation to go for query design. It's just make it a bit more convenient. Let's double click all 3 tables here to add them, close it. Let's again rearrange them like this. This is not necessary. I do it for my own convenience. This is just looks a bit more organized. Next, let's actually add the fields. So we're gonna go to step number 1. So first we add learner number. Where's learner number? How to add it? You have to click 2 times on the field in the table. I clicked 2 times and it appeared in the kind of menu here. Yeah, so first learner number. For name, double click, 1, 2, surname, DOB, double click, gender, where's gender, year group, year group already another table, so you can see here. So let's add year group, class code again in learners table, access arrangements in access, here you see another table, so it just makes it a bit more visible, yeah, if you make it like this. And online application, so we added all the fields. After we finish with step number 1, let's do selecting the records. Let's do filtering and put some criteria. First, gender has to be female. So let's find the gender column here. This is gender. And you can see that we have criteria row in here on the left, right below the tick box. You also can notice that we have OR criteria. And sometimes you may have a question, let's say that the name of the person can be Alex or John, let's say. So sometimes the criteria include the word or, but please do not be confused here. We never want to use this or row. It's not part of criteria, it means something else. We really don't need it ever. So please ignore this one and write all your criteria only in this row after the tick box, this one. In our case, it's a simple criteria. We just put female in this row, female. So we type it. After you type it, you click a bit away. You see it adds automatically itself double quotes around the word. You can also add it, but you don't have to. Program will do it for you automatically. Axis arrangement has to include the text time. Let's scroll to axis arrangement. Here we have the bottom scroll. Yeah, you can see this axis arrangement. You also can make it a bit wider. Criteria is under tick, this one. Includes text time. So here, let me explain. We don't want it to be exactly time. We want text to include the word time. So it can be the word timeless, or it can be part of the phrase expected time. So it can be in the beginning of the name of the text. It can be in the end of the text. It can be in the middle. It can be, for example, extra time added. Also good for us. Yeah. So if it anywhere in the text we have the word time, we want it to be there. So that's what we want to put. How do we write it? There's a special commands we use in the program. We're gonna use asterisk or star before the word time and after. So this star means that star here represents any possible text. So it means we want such record which has any possible text, then time, and then any possible text after the word time. So we want time to be somewhere in the text. The star can be no text at all. Yeah, so nothing or some text. I hope it a little bit makes sense. So this is how we write that the record has to include the word time. That's how we write it. We put star in the beginning, put star in the end. After I click somewhere away, you see what happens. It also add some commands here. This is a proper command of how you write this criteria, but you don't have to write this all. Like double quotes, you can just use stars and it will add it automatically for you. We finished with the criteria, first and second, that's it. And technically, if you can see, we finished with the query. So what we're gonna do, let's first save it, right click save. How we call it really doesn't matter. Let me call it step 20 query, just because this was the step with which we were working on. Let's save it. And my strong recommendation before going on the next part, making report, let's first make sure that our query is it looks correctly. Yeah, that sometimes you can make a typo, mistake, forget something. This is totally fine. It's just little things like this. So just to check yourself that we did everything fine before going next, let's save it, and let's go to right click on this tab and go datasheet view. This datasheet view, if you, for example, made a little typo or something like this, if I would make a little typo, it would be empty. Or it would be not exactly this. So if you go to datasheet view, you can visually check if criteria are what you expect it to be. Okay, gender is female, just as what we planned. That's just exactly what we expected. And axis arrangement indeed contains the word time. So here's time in the end, here's time in the middle, and here's time in the beginning. So again in the middle. Yeah, so anywhere in the text, in the beginning, in the middle, or in the end, somewhere. And that means that criteria were absolutely right. That's good for us. Let's continue. Let's save our query and let's continue. So now we're going to make report similar to query. Again, unfortunately, we cannot go to make report from top down. We have to look at the questions and try to figure out what to go first. Let me just start making it, and you will kind of realize it's kind of logical, but maybe first couple of times not intuitive why it's not really arranged in the order of making. How to make a report? You go create in your Access and choose report wizard. So on the top menu, on the top kind of panel, you have different blocks. Specifically, you have block reports. You see, you have a lot of, you have report design. We don't need that. We want the horizontal button, report wizard. That's what we want. Let's click report wizard. In this step, again, very important, you have to choose the proper source. Right now, we have 3 tables and we have our query. So we, of course, want to choose the query as a base for our report. So let's choose, make sure it's query. Let's move all the fields to the right in the order because order, we already chose the correct order here. We don't really have to, we don't have to change it. We can do it one by one by clicking this little arrow, 1, 2, or we can click this to make it all at once to the right. Now, if you click the double arrow, you can move it all to the right at once. Let's go next. This step asks you if you want to group data. As you may remember, here it says in the question, do not group the data. I never saw a question where you need to group the data. So pretty much you never want to group the data. No, they always tell you this. They explicitly tell you about it. Right now, how do you make sure that you don't group the data? You see on the left, you have 3 options. First option, you see one thing is on top. You basically have 2 boxes, one box, a little box on top and small box below. Just not to go deep into explaining what is grouping, it's really not that important. Basically choose the option which has all in one box. That's all you need to do. When you have 2 boxes, it means grouping. Because we don't want it, let's choose the option which put it all together. Most of the time it gives you this automatically, but sometimes it's not. That's why I'm explaining. So you have to just make sure it's in one box. For example, if it was like this by default, you should choose the second option, which puts it all in one box. Let's go next. This is the here, just in case, in previous step, it's also about grouping. Because we don't want any grouping, we ignored this step. This is a sorting step. You may remember we need to sort it, but you should not sort it here. You never should sort it here because it will then mess up your order of fields. That's why this sorting step we ignore. We never sort it here. We're going to sort it later. I'm going to show you how to sort it later, like to make it easier and like smooth without any problems. So, but do not sort it here. Just skip this step. Here we want tabular report. As you remember, it says here tabular report. No, it's always tabular. It's always by default correct. Orientation of page can change. So what page orientation should be? It says here page orientation of landscape. Let's choose landscape. Landscape it is. That's why I'm saying it's not really arranged. You see, so sort, we didn't do sort, but we did a landscape first. So technically this is step number 3 to do landscape. Next. By the way, we want to keep it ticked, yeah? So only landscape we change. And before going finish, we have to put title. And guess what? We actually have here the information that what title is supposed to be. And this is going to be this one. Includes only text access arrangements to be scheduled as a title at the top of the page. Let's type. Instead of this, we type access arrangements. Let me check. Access arrangements to be scheduled. Those are okay, this title, super. Let's type it and click finish. Again, talking about the order, you see it's not from top down. Now we type the title, so this is going to be step number 4. All the rest of the steps really you can do from top down. So the next steps are really not important. We can just do from top, like sort, fits the page. That is not really that significant. But those 2 kind of you can do as you make a report. I hope it kind of makes sense. It's pretty much natural to do it while you're making a report. When we made a report, we have to make it look good, do little things, little details specifically. Let's do this one first. Let's sort it. So how to sort it? Let's save our report, go to design view. Okay, let's try to do sorting. So yeah, we are in design view, and in order to sort, what do we do? In this design view, we have the kind of top part with the content, and then we have a gray area below. So let's right click on this gray area and choose sorting and grouping. We now have a panel with a sorting and grouping. Sometimes it's already there, so if it's there, you don't have to open it. To sort, we need to sort data in ascending order of axis arrangement and descending order of year group. So ascending order, just reminding you, so ascending order is basically alphabetical order, or if we're talking about letters, or from smallest to largest if we're talking about numbers. Sometimes it's a bit hard to understand what they mean. Let me show you. So let's go add a sort. Let's choose axis arrangement, and here we can choose how we want to sort, with A on top or Z on top. Basically, when they say ascending order, we always should go for the first option. So ascending is always first option, descending is always second option. Just intuition for you to remember. So let's choose A on top. Then we need to go descending order of year group. So let's go again, add a sort, year group, and we choose. Here you can notice that they changed it's not from A on top, Z on top, it's smallest to largest because the type is different. Again, sometimes it's hard to keep all these names in the head, so kind of universal here recommendations that ascending is the first option, descending is the second option. So let's go, here it says descending, let's choose the second option, this one, largest to smallest. That's how you do the sorting. So let's save our table. You can close this window if you want. Again, be careful, we only looking for add a sort. We never are interested add a group. This you can ignore always, so add a sort is what you click. So we finished sort. Let's put number 5 here. We did this. Next one, fits single page wide and prints only 2 pages. To check it, and let's in this step make sure that all our data is visible completely. So to do this, we need to right click on the report and go layout view. In layout view, you can notice that some of the columns are not big enough. So what is good is that it automatically kind of fits 1 page wide. You see that it's not going. So technically, if it was a bit wider, it would just create a second page. We never want it. So it's already good by default, the width. What are the problems? We cannot see some of the things. For example, when it says hashtags, it doesn't mean there's an error. It just means that the column is too narrow. It's too it's too narrow for the content. So we need to rearrange a little bit the columns, make it wide enough, but not too wide. You understand, like, so that all the fields are visible. Let me show you. How do we approach this issue? So there are pretty much 2 parts. One part is the header, the first one, and the second part is the content. We don't have to click all the rows. What is enough? It's enough to click the first row, then you press Ctrl to make the selection, simultaneous selection. So we press first one, then we press Ctrl, and while Ctrl is pressed, we click the second row. This way we select 2 things at once. If you want to select more, you again click Ctrl and you can select more. Sometimes it's also can be convenient, but right now we only want to rearrange specific columns. Let me just show you. I think it will make sense as I show you. So click for name, press Ctrl. We kind of, what is the point? The first column, if we select, let's click first one, Ctrl, second. We try to make it wider, but it's not enough space. What does it mean? We need to make the second column smaller, narrower, move it a bit to the right, and then we will create space for the first column. Again, after you do it like 3-4 times, it will be super clear. Just let me go in detail the first time. So let's go, click for name, press Ctrl, click second one. If you scroll to the bottom, you will notice that we can easily make it smaller, this column. So let's click on this one, on the put your cursor on the right border, so it becomes like arrow, left right arrow sign, and let's just make it smaller like this. Make it smaller. You can scroll up and down to make sure that no four names are cut, they are all completely visible, and then you can either use mouse by dragging it, or you can use arrow keys on your keyboard, left right arrow key. So if you just click, you see if I click a couple of times to the right, it smoothly move it like by little steps to the right. Now we have enough space for the first column. Let's click first one, Control second one, make it a bit wider, and perfect. We make it bigger, hashtags disappear, we see the content. Let's do it for all the other columns. Recommendation is to try to make columns as narrow as possible so that all the fields completely fit into your page. So we select two things, scroll to the bottom. I think this is the longest surname, so we just kind of arrange it by this one. Super. Next, date of birth. We also select the first two rows, make it wider. Okay, it's big enough. No hashtags, and let's use arrow keys to make it a bit closer to surname so we have more space for others. Okay, gender female, only female gender as we did, so we can make it like this, small, also move it to the left using arrow keys, and so on. Click using Control the first two things, make it wide enough for your group, and move it to the left close to gender to give space to the others. So class code similar, make it smaller, move to the left. And we have a couple more. So axis arrangement, let's scroll to the bottom. It's already wide enough. Let's move it to the left. But what about the last one? Sometimes it's hard to see the last fields because they not enough space, and they try to squeeze it into the same page, so it becomes almost invisible. So please be careful not to miss the last one. So we select again and make it wide enough. You can also move it a little bit to the left from the border. Super, this is how it looks. And what is good about it? We now have all the data visible. This is a requirement. This is what the description, the task says in the very beginning, that it has to be all the names, all the fields, all the content has to be completely visible. This is what they ask for. You will not get some points completely, like full points, if you don't do this, because sometimes the examiner, person who checks your work, needs to check if you did some filtering, you did some adding the source correctly. Remember, we added a new record before, and if your data is not completely visible, it's just not possible to do it. So that's why this is essential part of the task. Let's save it. Specifically, if we get to kind of the, how do you say it, concrete, to exact question, it says make sure the report fits single page wide and print in 2 pages only. How is it related to this? Let me show you. So while we make it all visible, after that we can actually go to print, right click, print preview, and look at our report, how it's gonna be when we print it, when we are about to print it. Because that's what you do, on the actual exam, on the actual test, you're gonna need to print your work. Nobody's gonna send the files you make in to the examiner, only the printed work is gonna be checked. If you look at your report, the first page looks good. Let's go to the last page. Here we have, again, in the bottom we have a navigation panel. So if you go to the last page, you can notice we only have 2 pages. This is exactly what they say here, prints 2 pages only. This is great. 2 pages, all visible, amazing. So this step is done. Let's put here number 6. Next one, let's see. Uses a function to display the DOB, date of birth, of the youngest student and place this at the end of report. And next, question is related. Next question is related. It says, has the label DOB of youngest student fully visible to the left of this date? So we're going to put formula and then little label on the left. Let's do this. Let's see how to do it. To do this, we need to go back to design view. We need to go back to design view and how to make a formula. So here's the OB. We would like to make a formula for the youngest date of birth. So if you think about it, youngest, it's actually maximum date of birth. It's a maximum date. Maybe I know it's maybe a bit not intuitive that it's not minimum, but because it's youngest person, the date is maximum. That's the logic. No, I hope it makes sense. If you're not sure, you can always go back and forth to report and see if that's the maximum, if that's, sorry, the youngest person. How to do this? There's simpler way to make a formula here. We have to find kind of a field which we are looking for, kind of the base field. In our case, it's DOB. You see, we have two DOB. One is in the header, one in the detail. So we're looking for the one in the detail, the bottom one. So we click on this box, then we right click on the on it, right click. So click once and right click, and this here in the middle we have the option total. If you go total, technically you can see all functions we can use. 5 functions whenever you want this. So min, max, sum, average, and count records, I think. So for some reason, I guess it's related to type here, we cannot choose min right here, but we can choose, I think, count records. Oh no, okay, better choose count values, because count records, you see, it doesn't put the name of the field. Let's try it again. Right click, total, count values. So when we choose count values, let's make this table a little bit wider. Let me just repeat again, total. In this case, because we don't have min for some reason, if you have min, just click min right away. That's going to do it. But here I don't have it, unfortunately. So I have to choose count values, and instead of write count, I'm going to write min by hand. Why it's easier to use this thing is that because you already have kind of right syntax. You have equal, name of function, bracket, ordinary bracket, parentheses, square bracket. So you kind of don't get, no, it gives you a lot of details how you're supposed to write it. So that's my recommendation. So choose the field you need, total, and then choose the function. Sometimes, it's rare, but sometimes it's not automatically works to choose the right function. So in this case, it was count. Count will just count how many records you have, like, I don't know, 20 or 30, how many rows in your table. But we don't want to count, we want to find the value, the minimum value. Oh, again, sorry for maybe misclicking. I was talking before that actually it's not minimum, it's kind of, it's the youngest person, but it's a maximum date. That's no, a bit confusing, like, yeah, so be careful here, be careful. It's actually youngest person, so maximum date. So we want max, we want maximum function here. Great, we put the function here, and the next thing we need to do is to put the label DOB of youngest student to the left. What is label? It's just a text box explaining what this number means. How to add a text, this label? In the top you have report design tab, and here you have different controls, elements. The simplest element we can add just text is this one, AA. This is AA. You put your cursor there and you see it even gives you a tooltip which says label. So let's go AA. Let's draw it as a box to the left. You can change the size later if you want, and let's type this text. DOB of youngest student. DOB of youngest student. Something like this. Let's check if it works. So how to see if it actually gives you what you expect? Let's save our report and go, let's save it there and go to print preview, go to second page, and in the second page you see what happens. It gives us what we want. It gives us the date of youngest student. You see, like, there's people who were born in 2007, 2008, so youngest obviously has the largest date, was born the latest. So in this case, it's this guy. Super. This girl, I guess. Now this because we sorted by the female gender. So this is what we want. Sometimes they can ask you put this date exactly under the column. So they can say put it under the DOB column. Right now it's not exactly under. You see, it's a little bit to the left, which in this case is not important because they say put it in the end of report. Sometimes they ask you to put it exactly under the column. If that was the case, let me show you what is the, I guess, easiest way to do. Let's go to layout view, scroll to the bottom, and we can just physically click on this one and using arrow keys move it under the column. Let's make it a bit smaller, like this. Okay. Here you go. There's it's not that simple, unfortunately. So what is the deal? We need to first go to design view and take a screenshot. That's the limitation. I hope it makes sense. We first, if you look at the question that says place in your evidence document screenshot with a formula. So we need to first take a screenshot and then we're gonna put it in the right place. So let's take a screenshot in design view, Windows, Shift S, and we only take screenshot of this little formula. Put it for step 20 in our report, save it, in our evidence. And now let's save it and go back to layout view and arrange it in a beautiful way. So we make it a bit smaller, move it to the right below the dates. And this label also we can make it a bit smaller and move it just close to this. Let's save it. Just last step left for this question, and so let's put here number 7, number 8. Last step is okay, you need to put your name, center number, kind number in the footer of the report in the footer, so it appears on the same position on every page. My recommendation is that here's a page footer. Be careful, it's not report footer. So formula is in report footer. It puts it automatically for you. But page footer, and this is going to be only formula in the end of report, not on all pages. Only last one. Only last page. Only last page. So if you want to be on every page, it has to be in page footer. My recommendation is to remove this box now. So you click on the box now, click delete. Be careful, do not delete just text now. We have to delete the whole box. And in the place, instead of where it was now, we make our new box, AA, and make a new box, and you type information. So you type your name, surname, center number, let's say for me, just some artificial number. I put a number. Super. We can make it a bit smaller, move it. Let's save it, go to print preview, and it's amazing. It's in the end of the footer, all the pages, you can see everything. If you want to print an actual test or exam, you just go to print preview and click print. In our case, I'm not gonna print. Yeah, so this is the end. And let's go for the last step in this database question. This one is related to labels. Let me close the report, let me close the query, and go for this one. Here's the question. Using the fields from all tables, produce labels. This is a keyword here, labels. Then they tell you, these labels have to be with these filters. Sorted in descending, the AA code is this, class code includes 5 or 6. Sorted in descending order of learner number. Then the label is supposed to be, these are the sizes you're gonna see. So 2 columns, 4 rows, 8 labels to page. For example, this is the size. Page has to be A4, this is default. This is information supposed to be displayed in every label. Label is like a visit card, like a little piece of information for every record. Instead of writing in one line, we're gonna put it in a small rectangular box. No, you will see. So this information is supposed to be. Also, you have to put your name and all the details at the left bottom of each label. Then they explain how visually you need to edit the label. Only first 2 lines of the label has to be 14 point size. The font size has to be 14. Center line, bold. And completely visible. This is a classical requirement. All text, all content has to be completely visible. Let's start. Making labels. We also have to start with making the query. We first prepare the data, filter it out, choose the fields, make it kind of proper, the content, and then we change how it looks later. So 2 steps again here, 2 steps. First step is a query. Let me maybe put in color like here, yeah, like blue color has to be query. Let me put it here. So okay, this one is going to be our this one is going to be our query part. No, it's not, you will see, it's just we just have to look at it and have to pay attention while we make a query. And this is also going to be query part. So this is a query part and this query part. That's important. Let's see. And the rest is going to be labels. So the rest is going to be labels part. So how to make a query? Create query design just like we did before. Add all 3 tables. Now let's see. All 3 tables. Move it a little bit around. Make it all big enough. Which fields do we need? Those fields which are in the box. So first, access arrangements. Double click. Learner number. Forename, surname, DOB, class code, class tutor. Next, so we first start with choosing the fields, and then we're gonna go here. So it's kind of second step. This filtering second step. So AA code has to be this. We don't have AA code here. What does it mean? It means we have to edit, but do not show it. So it untick the show box. We don't want to show it. We just want to put criteria. Criteria was AA01. It's first criteria. Second criteria, class code includes the class code includes numbers 5 or 6. Let me show you. So class code, a bit tricky question because here it says includes. Includes, as you maybe remember, it's star, 5 star, or star, 6 star. So that's how we do it. Includes 5 or 6, not just 5 or 6. Yeah? So we have to surround those numbers by stars. And we click on the right and it becomes proper thing. Yeah? So, and sorting. Sort in descending order of learner number. This is a bit unusual. We usually do not do sorting in the query when we make report, but when we make labels, we should do sort here. This is, I think, more convenient to do sort in the query. So learner number in descending order. So let's go learner number. Here we have sort, and here we have to choose descending for learner number. That's how we make a query. Let's save it. Now again, sort descending. Save it. Step 21 query. As usual, my recommendation, let's go and look at the datasheet view. Is it what we expect? First of all, sorting. Is it good for sorting? Yes, descending order. So from largest number to smallest. Okay, class code includes 5 or 6. And the AA code is hard to check, but okay, let's assume it's fine because we don't show it. So super. Here's again important thing. When we make labels, we should not close the query. Query has to be the only open tab here. You will see why. Yeah, it will let us choose. After we finish with the query, we're gonna make labels. So how to make labels? We keep it open, create, and we have labels right below report wizard. We see we have here labels right below. So we click labels. They tell us we want it to be in 2 columns, 4 rows, 8 labels per page. For example, the size. For me, it's kind of already, luckily, I choose the correct one, correct template, but you can look up and down if it's not already there. Usually Avery has most standard sizes. If it's not there, you can actually change it later, don't worry. Just choose something which looks close to what they ask for, and then you can change it. So we go next. This one we don't change. Go next. Okay, this is the next step. What is important? In this step, we have to choose which field to show, in what order, and in what view, kind of say. So you look at this picture and your program is supposed to look similar. So first is axis arrangement. Let's move axis arrangement, double click, or this one. Then you have to press enter to go to next page and continue. Learn a number, double click, enter. For name, space, surname. So we add forename, then we put space. We have to put space. It will not put it automatically for us. So we have to put it explicitly. Forename, space, surname, enter. DOB, enter. Then class code. You see what happens here. Space minus space. So we type here space minus space, class tutor. That's how it looks. All these little things, again, very easy to miss, so be careful. You have to type it explicitly yourself. Super, we type it, and after it's not the end, you see they say your name, center number, and number on the left at the bottom of each label. So we have to add one more line and type your name and information. So you put enter and just type your name, center number, candidate number. You have to type it. I think always they want you to do it. And just read the question, but technically you type it here. Super, that's how it looks. No? Space here, space minus space here. Amazing. Go next. Sorting. We cannot do sort here because we don't have to. We did it already before. But what you can notice here, you cannot choose ascending or descending. It's always ascending. That's why we did it before, yeah? Because we cannot do descending here. That's why I'm saying you should do sorting in the query. So we don't do anything here. We just skip this one. Name we keep the same. We don't change. Finish. This is our labels. What is good? We can take a look how our labels looks like. So we have 4 rows and 2 columns. Super. That's exactly what we want. What is left for us? We need to modify the first 2 lines of the table of the label. So the text is displayed with this. So bigger font size, center aligned, bold. No, 14 size, 14. Font has to be 14, center aligned, and bold. Also, everything has to be visible. How to do it? We can do it by going to labels, right click, design view. What I want to quickly show you. You see, we have here the ruler on top and on the left. If you didn't find the right template in this template list, you can change the sizes here. You see, you can change this to be how do I say that? This to be bigger or smaller. You can change it by hand. This really, no, you can do it here. Yeah? So don't worry if you didn't find there like 60 something specific or 99. I don't remember the size. So if you didn't find exact sizes, you can just change it, save it, go to print preview, and what is most important that you have to, it has to be 2 columns and 4 rows, 8 labels to the page. So if this condition is satisfied, the exact sizes of the boxes, of individual boxes, are not important. I hope it makes sense. So this is where you can change it if it's not clear how to change it from the templates. Yeah? So you can change it by hand right here. I don't have to change it because it's already good, so I'm not going to change it. But if you need, you see, you can change it like this or like this. I just need to check every time if it didn't, I can make it too small so it becomes 5 rows. I don't want that. I want 4 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, see, I made it too big so it doesn't fit now into one page. 1, 2, 3, but 4 doesn't fit. So I have to go to design view and make it a bit smaller just so it actually fit the 4 things in one page. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now it's good. Going back to the actual task. They tell us, make it 14-point size, center aligned, and bold, but only the first 2 lines. How to do it? So these 2 lines supposed to be this. How to make it? We can select them like this, or using Control, doesn't matter. Just select 2 boxes. Go Home tab, and here you see very classical how we can change it. So let's make it 14 font size, press enter. Let's make it bold and let's make it center aligned. Great. Now let's move it, rearrange a little bit so it fits actually on the page. It's not overlapping. So let's select those four like this. You see, I just do it with the mouse, and then I use the arrow keys to move it down, right. So this one I also want to move it down and then make it just wider a little bit, and this one also I make it wider. Let's make sure it's all completely visible. It doesn't have to be like super close to each other, maybe little spaces, not a big deal. That's it. That's how you make it. Save it. Let's go back to print preview, make sure it looks good. And this is exactly what we wanted. And this is how you make labels. After that, you're supposed to print it. So you go to print preview and click print. And this is how you make the database task here. Thank you.